Good Friday afternoon or evening. Victor, you made it?
Yes, I did it. I'm here.
All right.
Whatever it means.
Well, yeah. You didn't turn on your lights, but don't turn on the lights. This is good. I need
Yeah?
something different
Okay.
today. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Your shiny happy face is shiny, so that's what I care about. Let's get into the hellos. Sebastian, happy Friday to you as well. Janos, good evening. Karen, good to see you. And Jude, new name. Jude, if this is your first time here, thanks for joining us live today. Anything going on this week? We did your live stream yesterday. And
Yes.
that's about all that I remember. Now turn those off.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. It's doing things on its own.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Just don't worry about the colors right now. Go back to the color.
Yeah.
Go back to the plane.
I'm trying. The stream deck went crazy.
Oh, okay. Andre, good to see you as well. Well, just leave them. That's fine. I was wanting some different colors to work with this week with the thumbnail, but that's okay.
I can do. I don't know how to
That's
do
fine.
it.
Leave that. Leave
That's
that.
crazy.
That's fine. That's fine. Hi, by the way, if we're just sort of sitting here talking. If you don't know who we are, my name is Darren Pope. This over here is Victor Farsick, and we are the host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. Comes out on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. Now that I think everybody is now in daylight time or summertime or whatever you want to call it. We are getting snow, not me specifically, but we're getting snow in the mountains this weekend. The last small little bit of snow. And then it's spring, finally. The pollen has already told me it's spring. And on Fridays, we do this live stream, and which is probably going to become more sporadic over the next month or two. Because Victor is getting on airplanes and in vehicles. You're doing the same thing that somebody did to me yesterday, too. You're just sitting there smiling and nodding and not saying anything. And it's like, I can barely see you, so it's like I'm trying to do anything.
I'm speechless. That's what it is.
Yeah. Miroslav, you're quite welcome. That was the first question that we covered yesterday. That, if I remember correct,
Yep.
right? That was Miroslav's. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and just get into it. Because do you have a meeting at the top of the next hour? Yes. Yes. It must be nice to be in meetings all day long, right?
Yeah, if it's somebody else, then yes. I need to create virtual me kind of, and just randomly put yes maybe into the meeting.
You need to talk to
That's
Patrick and let Patrick create a virtual Victor for you. You could do that.
Yeah,
That'd be fun for him.
it's easy. I should just record myself, kind of like every once in a while nodding, or
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this week's episode was eliminating cloud chaos with Firefly. And Firefly is a service at gofirefly.io. I hadn't said that out loud before. It was harder than I thought. And they allow you to regenerate your cloud infrastructure without having had it to begin with. Pretty cool tool. So, and we talked with Aaron from Firefly about a lot of things in general, but it was around basically if you're stuck going into an organization that has no infrares code, and all of a sudden you need infrares code, a tool like Firefly is probably going to help you out. And other tools can help you do that today too, but it's a service, and it's always good to have a service, right? Somebody to yell at, somebody to throttle, somebody's neck to throttle. You're just being quiet. Are you in another meeting right now too?
no.
Is that what
just
you're doing?
Speechless. I'm so amazed with what you're saying that I'm speechless.
Okay. If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, you should do it this week. You want to be speechless? Are you ready
Yeah.
to be speechless?
Yeah, show me, baby.
I knew about this yesterday and I forgot when we were talking to Nicole. Grafana got a $240 million round and have added JP Morgan. We've talked about adding in VCs over time, but when you start seeing the big banks, the stalwarts, if you will, investing into tech, that's where you need to start looking, I think. I don't own shares in Grafana. I don't do any of that stuff, right? But It's just a smell.
I mean, if you want to own shares, then that's too late for you to get shares.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a D round, I believe, if I read it correct. Yes, Series D. But the one thing I didn't see here, which most people enjoy saying, is now valued at X amount. And I didn't see that in this press release on the Grafana site. By the way, links to everything that you're going to be seeing today are going to be down in the description of the video probably tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, Eastern time. So Grafana adds another $240 million. Let's speculate just a moment. What could that be? What could that be for?
For growing their cloud business.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I haven't been using much, to be honest, Grafana not open source. So I'm guessing really that it's cloud business. It looks like Grafana that's the direction they want to take. I haven't seen much of kind of, hey, this is enterprise self-managed something.
Yeah. So just for grins, in case you didn't know the other name, Sequoia Capital, can't even try this one here, Lightspeed and Lead Edge. I mean, they're bringing in the cash right now. So Grafana, congratulations. Now to something a little more sad.
Sad? Okay.
Well, it depends on how you want to count.
I see AWS on the tab, so...
Well, they're now supporting 122. 124 comes out in 2 weeks. Roughly. 10 days, I think. The 19th. Okay. And the timing's about right, though. Because...
Yeah, I mean, 2 minor releases back, acceptable.
Exactly. But they're just now getting to 122. Of course, it's not a trivial thing when you're running a service to just say, hey, here's the new one, let's upgrade it tonight. That would be bad. But what I thought was interesting, and I haven't gone back through the history on this, but it stuck out to me because it's not only EKS, but EKS distro and EKS anywhere. So I'm willing to cut them a lot of slack if they're able to release all 3 of those all at once.
Yeah. But it's, to be honest, it's kind of strange that they're doing that.
Why do you say that?
So I would expect managed service to be in front of self-managed service, right? Because that's something you control yourself as a vendor, right? So I would expect the EKS to be one version ahead of EKS Anywhere. Until you get the feedback, you can fix it, because you cannot fix it when it's self-managed.
This is so. I think this is where I disagree with you. I could see distro being behind, but I think Anywhere allows you to also go ahead and use EKS as well behind.
Yes, but it's EKS that you set up. There is
Correct.
it's not an AWS service, right?
Correct. You're right.
So the grasp that AWS has on what you're running as Anywhere is much smaller than what you're running as EKS.
Okay. I'm not going to fight you too hard on it. It doesn't. I would rather them be successful getting all 3 out at once than to have a horrible rolling strategy. That is.
Oh yeah.
Right. I would rather them be more conservative at this point and learn how to increase that later on.
Exactly. I mean, that's like why I like the GKE model. When you create GKE, if you focus only on stable, that's always a couple of minors back. But then there are, I'm not sure how it's called, the channel, opposite of stable. It's not called unstable, but there is a channel where you can actually go with newer version of GKE. So that's what I thought that EKS would be doing. Hey, okay, so stable we release everywhere, but we actually have another channel where you can go faster, and that would help us as a company, as AWS in this case, to Rapid. Oh, there is Miroslav saying Rapid. That would allow AWS to have more information about potential issues.
Yeah.
Right, before rolling it out everywhere.
Yeah. I forgot our drinks.
Okay, see you.
See, oh yeah. If he has to walk off, that means it's been an even worse day for him than it has been for me. I will say, while he's out, and he's still listening as he's walking away, I'm going to go back to the question from Sebastian before we move on. Talking about infrastructure as code for pre-existing infra. Victor, hopefully you're listening. Is
Yes,
there
sir.
a Terraform import for crossplane?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So,
Okay.
it depends what you mean by Terraform import. If you mean, hey, can I actually tell Crossplane, create some manifest and tell Crossplane to manage infrastructure created by Terraform, then the answer is yes. If the question is, hey, can I convert Terraform HCL into Crossplane definitions themselves, then the answer is not yet.
Okay. I won't push you any further on that. Okay. Do you remember us talking about StackRox a while back? A long time ago? It's been a long
I forgot
time.
what it is, but I remember that something we did about StackRox.
Yep. So it's now open source, which it wasn't. StackRox, Red Hat acquired StackRox. Maybe that's where we initially talked about it. And the first Kubernetes native security platform. I always question that phrasing. First, we'll see. And also Kubernetes native. I also question that.
Every vendor has a first Kubernetes platform for something. Absolutely every vendor.
I know. It just bugs me. So now StackRox can solve the Kubernetes security challenges, including automated DevSecOps, shifting security left, operationalizing full lifecycle application security in Kubernetes. Okay. And overcoming the challenges of Kubernetes security. Wait, you're telling me if I install StackRox, I will never have security problems in Kubernetes ever again?
No, you will have problems, but you will not have challenges.
Oh, not challenges. Okay.
You will not be challenged.
But I'll have problems.
You will have problems,
joking.
but you will not be challenged.
Anybody watching from Red Hat or StackRox, obviously I'm joking. Mainly because I forgot the word, and I'm glad you picked up on it. So StackRox has now gone open source. Now, I did take a look at it. And of course, they have the magical eBPF, which we're not going to get into because I still can't talk about it with even a little bit of thing. I will say every site that we have this week, except for one we're getting ready to come up with, I'll change from light to dark. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at, because I can't remember how they were licensing this. It's Apache 2. Okay. I looked at a bunch of things this week and I couldn't remember how this one was. So you can just set it up. The quick start is only 10 pages, so you're in good shape there. No, it's not 10 pages. And it walks you through how to do all the things. So StackRox, I imagine this is now showing up on your list of things to do. So
does this mean that StackRox will, at one moment in the future, work only within OpenShift?
Boy, I hope not. It would make sense though, right?
Yeah, I'm referring. The other day I learned, I did not know until a few days ago, that Ansible Tower now works only within OpenShift. Kind of, hey, you're not having you want Ansible Tower OpenShift. You don't want OpenShift. Tough luck. So I'm wondering whether this is the same fate.
Well, that would be interesting. So are you saying Tower or AWS?
Tower. No, so
the product.
No, Tower.
Okay.
Yeah, product. Ansible Tower. Yeah.
You know what? That doesn't bug me a whole lot. I mean, it's annoying, but it doesn't bug me. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But
There is no technical reason for that decision, so it's a pure commercial reason, and we all want our salaries, so I'm not complaining. It was just curious to find out.
okay. HashiCorp released this was the one site that didn't go dark. I guess we could call Rosemary and say, hey, Rosemary, you're messing up our show. Waypoint 0.8. Remember when we talked about 0.1, which now seems like a year ago because it was more than a year ago?
Back when I really disliked it.
Yeah. They now support secret values for input variables. Seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Right? Especially for somebody like HashiCorp who has secrets as a core part of their business. Just
Hey,
a small
if you're
part.
going to integrate with something, let it be first the thing that you have.
Boy, a lot of product managers should listen to that phrase you just said. Targetable runners was another thing. So you can specify a target remote runner for an application or a project using labels using Jenkins vernacular, or how do you do it in Actions? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
I forgot.
Doesn't matter.
You know, my brain works in a way that it forgets immediately and then it remembers when I start working on it again.
Yep. So anyway, lots of newish features available for Waypoint. So if you haven't looked at Waypoint, you should. Again. Okay. Next up. Oh, dear.
What's wrong?
Okay. Have you seen this? Did you see this come out this week?
Warp for the
Warp.
terminal. Okay, let me see this. This is now so intriguing.
It's a terminal. It's a terminal.
Okay.
Brand new terminal written in Rust. Okay.
Okay. Good.
You can
so
run it.
far.
Currently, you can only run it on Mac. Again, that's okay. I'm not going to fight
Okay.
that a whole lot, right? That's okay. I believe that's true. I may be wrong. Yeah, public beta and any Mac user can download it for free. Okay. I would be careful that any Mac, because I'm going to test that theory this weekend on my 2011 MacBook Air running Sierra.
Wait. I mean, it's implied that it's any Mac from 21st century.
Oh wait. Hang on.
I'm not sure whether yours is from this century, man.
It is.
Okay.
Hang on.
Fair enough.
We're doing some cleaning. We have a yard sale this weekend. So, I have a Mac Mini. Like, classic Mac Mini. This
Classic is a new word for ancient, right?
currently has, because I did a fresh install on it to see if it even still boot. This has Leopard on it, or Snow Leopard. Snow Leopard. I don't know what year that was anymore. If it will run on this one, because they say any, then we'll see. Okay.
Okay. Do you have
All right,
a trash
all right.
can around?
Don't start with me. Okay. Now, below the big blue button, notice this. We are excited to announce we have raised $23 million for Terminal app. This week, I also saw another piece of software. They're built-
23.
Wait, time out. Let me finish my thought, because this is where it gets even more absurd. And again, I'm happy for them. But I saw a company that's building out a whole big application developer experience platform. And they raised $25 million. And I asked the question, okay, I can get a whole big platform with all the moving bits and pieces for $25 million, or I can buy a terminal app that I can run on a Mac for $23 million.
Yeah, but one of those two is competing with dozens of others, and the other maybe with nobody. You need to take that into account. Who is seriously working on terminals today?
Nobody.
Kind of with real funding. Nobody, exactly.
Nobody.
By the way, ask me what I've been doing for the last 5 days.
What have you been doing for the last 5 days?
Coding and using the project that we explored a few months ago, Charm.
Oh, Charm,
You
really?
remember?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's my best favorite thing now in the whole
Really?
wide world. Yeah.
Should we get them on? I heard them on another
We
podcast.
should get them on, yes. We should
Okay.
definitely get them on. Amazing.
I'll have to...
Now you're talking about terminals. I want to see how they can beat that up.
Right. Yeah, because the one from Charm, what was the name of that one? Kitten?
I mean, it's a bunch of libraries that you can use to
Yeah.
create
But somebody
your own
wrote a terminal,
something.
though. Somebody wrote a
Yeah.
terminal, though. I think it's called Kitten. Here, I'll look it up. I have the internet.
Possible, yeah.
Kitten Charm. Not Kitten Charm bracelets. I knew that was going to happen. what was it? Is it Charm SH? Does that sound right? Yeah. I don't remember what episode it was where we talked about this. It was on a Friday show. Charm Lives, Wish. Wish to me is very interesting. I don't remember. I would have to go and try to dig it out again. I thought it was called Kitten, though. It wasn't made by these guys, but it was made by a person that... Here, maybe it's apps. Did they... I can't remember if they featured him or not. If you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
very
need to
back.
go back to Bubble, and then...
Oh,
go
that's
back,
right.
Go to Bubble
Bubble
Tea,
Tea.
that one.
Yep.
And then you will see projects somewhere.
Probably at the
I don't know.
bottom.
Probably, maybe. Who knows?
I do remember it. There
There
it
we
is.
go.
So,
Bubble Tea in the Wild. Probably, I'm guessing it's one of those. Probably not. Who knows?
anyway.
Anyways,
Anyway.
I was about to start working on a very fancy new UI for something I cannot speak about yet. And then I thought about Charm and kind of like, hey, can I actually make fancy new UI that is not web? Because I don't really like JavaScript. And that's where Charms comes in. It's going to be awesome. Awesome hack. It's not going to be awesome project, just to clarify.
People don't know where to put their money. Well, what's interesting, look at the names that dropped in here. GV, which is big. Neo is pretty big. Box Group is big. And then standalones, Dylan Field, Eli Gill, I've heard him. Jeff Weiner, I've heard of. And do you know who this is? This little name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Only the founder of Salesforce. So there must be something else going on here that is not visible.
But when you think about it, so I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's
Well,
completely
product vision.
silly.
Here it is. Here's the product vision. Let's look at it. To bring the terminal into the present in order to help developers build the future. Okay, terminal. Here, I can't share a screen easily for this. Terminal. It's a screen with characters. And I've been typing in terminals since the early 80s. They haven't changed.
Exactly. So
At all.
to me, this description means nothing. I mean, the blah, blah, blah. I need to see it. But it is true that terminals did not change in ages, as you said.
Correct.
And that happens to be, like in my case, Terminal and Visual Studio Code. And when I say terminal, I mean terminal inside of Visual Studio Code that uses my ZSH and blah, blah, blah. But Terminal and Visual Studio Code are what I use 90% of the time. So if somebody can make me more efficient with either of the two,
Yeah, great.
kind of significant, I mean, make something significantly better, I'm all for it. I would invest in it if they would actually make me be better in something that I use all the time.
This is okay. So I've been sort of bashing. I'll be blunt, but this is a great sentence. Compared to VS Code, using the terminal is like stepping back in time to the 70s. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Only 70% of developers use VS Code. The other 28% are using an IntelliJ product, and the other 2% are using Emacs and VI.
And this is, I was about to say bullshit, but I shouldn't say bullshit on live, right? That cannot be true. I can guarantee that 100% of developers do not use terminal.
No.
I can guarantee that.
If you are a Microsoft developer, you are living inside of Visual Studio. End of story.
Yeah, I mean, I live inside of Visual Studio that has constantly open terminal. But I guarantee that there is somebody who is not using terminals.
At all.
Somebody's clicking buttons. Guarantee you that. You know, Visual Studio Code and then file, compile, something like that. For sure.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. I have been mean up to this point. I did install it, and I haven't had time to deal with it since. If you use a Mac, again, is it going to work with my 1 gig of RAM Mac Mini from 2008 9, I think.
Okay, look, Darin. At some moment this year, I will buy a new phone because mine is horrible. It's kind of years old. And I will send you my phone, which will replace 8 of those Mac Minis.
Probably so. Anyway, it's out there. I would say take a look at it. I mean, as much as I have sort of been being mean, just take a look at it. Give him a fair shake. Zach, I will apologize to your face right now that I've been so mean. If it's been mean, I did not mean to be disparaging, but these are just like, really? 23 million for a terminal? Congratulations for that. But what else is there to get 23 million? That's where I'm scratching my head right now. And Zach, if you see this and you want to come on and talk about it, we're more than happy to have you on. Again, talk what you can talk. We get it. We understand all the things. Okay. Am I done with this? Yes, I am. Watchtower. I laughed when I saw this, not in a bad way, and this is also one that didn't go dark mode. Have you heard of Watchtower before? I figured if anybody did, you might have.
What is it? I haven't.
Okay, it's a container here. I'm trying to not reveal too much here, but look at the bottom line. A container-based solution for automating Docker container base image updates.
You know what to do when I see the somebody saying Docker
And container in the
image
same
instead
next.
of container image.
Yeah, I know. All right, so here's what it is. With Watchtower, you can update the running version of your containerized app. Good deal, right? They got it phrasing better there. Simply by pushing a new image to a registry. Watchtower will pull down your new image, gracefully shut down your existing container, and restart it with the same options that were used when deployed initially.
Who cares about running Docker?
Wait. Say that again.
You're joking now, but I'm serious. Nobody who's using Docker in production. Is this for my laptop when I run Docker there?
No. No, I would see this as being a production type app.
Come on, people, seriously.
Look, there's even a
Let's
Docker
not do
compose
this.
for it.
I mean, no, so let's rephrase. Yes, there are people running Docker in production. I know that, I understand that completely. It's happening. We're going to fight about it, but that's what it is. Now, the real question is, those who are running in Docker in production probably eventually realize that that's not the thing that you should run in production, and they're probably not investing in it. So not adopting new tools that will do even more with my Docker in production. I just have it because I have to have it. I will eventually, just like with mainframe, move to something else. But I'm not going to invest in new tooling around it.
Yep. So just to show, because Miroslav brought it up, and I'll go back and grab a couple of the other comments in a minute. I didn't know it was still actively developed. I would say it's still reasonably actively developed with a January release. That's fine. 3 months ago. That's okay. And if you look at the last commit was on March 9th, about a month ago.
Fair enough.
So would I say actively? No. Is it, what's another word for active that isn't like hyperactive? Maintained? It's maintained.
I have great news, actually, and huge thanks.
Okay.
You know the Docker Flow projects that existed a long time ago? You remember that?
Yeah.
Docker Flow Proxy and Docker Flow this and Docker Flow that?
You mean all the ones that were dead?
Yeah, no, they're not anymore. That's the thing. Somebody asked me kind of like, hey, can you fix this? No, I'm not using it anymore. You want to be a maintainer, and that person is now really, really, really working hard and fixing issues on a project. So it's big thanks. So I basically relinquished control of those repos, gave it to that person, and the project is back working, being maintained.
Interesting. So there are still people that need those.
Form. Yep. I'm extremely positively impressed.
Well, yeah.
Normally I'm negative, kind of like, but I'm impressed that somebody says, hey, this is not working, can you fix it? I say, I'm not using it anymore. I don't know anybody using it anymore. If you want to fix it, kind of like, become admin of that repo and fix it. And somebody did it. And that's so impressive. So many people are just complaining, kind of, this is not working. And so few people are actually willing to say, okay, so I should do something about it. And that part is great. So I don't think that anybody should use Docker Swarm. But instead of complaining, fixing something yourself, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. When somebody steps up,
Yeah.
if that means if you are in a situation outside of your control to where you still have to use technology X,
Yeah.
and there was something like what you had that you have now moved on, and you as the original author were fine saying, hey, you want it? It's yours. Done. Right?
Oh, yeah.
For you.
I mean,
Okay.
for me, but
good for
I'm
them.
guessing that exactly.
Yeah.
I know that there are Docker users. I'm exaggerating when somebody says no, but when I say nobody uses Docker, I know that people use Docker. That's okay. You shouldn't be, but you are, so that's okay. And those who are stepped up and maintained the project. Absolutely great.
Okay. I want to go back to one of the questions here. What is the business model for a terminal? Are they going to charge a monthly subscription for a UI with drop-downs? I don't know. I'd love to talk with them. I'd be very interested.
You know, sometimes I listen to that talk from Charm folks, which could be the same talk that you listen to, and it's possible that actually you send me the link. And I love their approach. They said, look, kind of monetization, we don't know what we're... Kind of right now, we are focused on making awesome things, and we have money. We're not burning money, but we have money to actually finance that. And so we are focused on adoption by making awesome things, and we're going to focus on earning some money later on, because right now we have investors' money, right? I admire that. Being able to, very often companies or projects get money and they're forced immediately to kind of figure out something to sell, which, by the way, you should. But being able to just make cool things and then figure out how to sell it later. I mean, you need, if you have something really cool and that is widely adopted, it's not that hard to find a business model. I mean, people are willing to pay for things that they use, really, really, right? You need to be Docker to actually fail miserably to convince somebody to have millions and millions of users and convince somebody to actually percentage of those to pay you money, right? Which is a separate story. But hey, if everybody starts using this, not everybody, but a significant percentage of people start using those terminals, they're going to figure out how to sell.
Yeah,
I would pay for it, right? Depends on a business model, right?
Yeah. Let's go back to what we were just talking about, Watchtower. Somebody suggested that they might use Docker Swarm. How do I stop them?
Slap them. Like, whenever you see somebody typing Docker, that slap on your hand.
So, okay, seriously though, would you point them back to? There was a post that Docker put out about that, right? That there were no new developments towards Swarm, or there was something like that, right? Or am I completely misstating it?
Look, to me, it's in case of Docker, it's very simple argument, and that is Docker as a company. First of all, Docker does not have a significant community around it with real contributions to Docker, right? It's mostly on other projects that might or might not depend on Docker. So not significant. There is no significant community around it. And Docker as a company basically said, not using the words that I'm going to use, but indirectly said, we are giving up on production, on cluster. We are focusing on developer experience. They did not use those words, but that's the meaning of what they're doing for a while now. And that by developer experience, I mean mostly on what is happening on your laptop. not what is happening in production. So if company behind the product says, hey, we're not going to focus on production, then why would you think that they're joking? And if you think that they're being serious about what they say, and they are, then why would you invest your future into something that the originator of that something says, nah?
Okay, so Victor just finished that explanation, Sebastian. Go back to that part and play that for your friend. That's what you would do. I do want to bring up this, what is the charm thing that you mentioned? So charm is they've got a lot of different tools. They have libraries. It's all Go based, right? I didn't get into all of this, but it's all Go. Okay. So they have libraries that have really strange names, but then they have two different, what I'll call apps. They have SoftServe, which is a self-hostable Git server from the command line, which I think is very strange.
So I couldn't find really, put myself to really try the top two, which are kind of apps, right?
These two, yeah.
So probably they're great. I haven't really found a reason to use them. What is amazing is CharmLibs. Basically, it allows you to build, instead of building CLIs, to build CLI-based UIs, right? With lists and tables and windows. Basically, you can create awesome UI, kind of web-looking UI in a terminal.
Building terminal UIs,
so,
like I used to do for the VT100s back in the 80s?
I mean, I was arguing about it in the past. I don't do it anymore. Kind of like by definition, if you do something, CLI is a user interface as well. So
It is.
and it's graphical. Something is on the screen, right? But it's absolutely amazing. I love those libraries. It's first day was so painful. I cannot explain how painful it was. But once you figure it out, how it works, it reminds me a lot on what were we doing in the past with web? Model view controller or
MVC.
something like that called? MVC. Yeah, it's like model view controller for your terminal apps.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't got to it yet. So, okay, a couple of quick ones here. Github-pewpew. I love the icon. But unfortunately, it is a NPM app. So I'll give them a little bit of grace. Just cut them some slack. They did get the GitHub with the upper H right everywhere. So again, good. So what it does is it goes off and selects repositories that you want to delete. So you can just do it from the command line. That's all it does. Right? That's it. Done. Single guy working on it.
I was doing that in the past, and then when I said about slapping, then I slapped myself. Kind of like, why am I cleaning with the repos I don't use from GitHub? I'm not hosting them.
Yeah.
Why do I care about cleaning it up, removing unused repos?
Yeah. We go to Slavomir's question here. What are the most common uses for terminal UIs?
Instead
Everything.
of answering that question, I will give a good example. K9S.
Oh yeah, K9S.
Yeah, kind of like that's a type of terminal application that is absolutely awesome.
Yep, good example. Okay, last tool, I think. Yes, this is the last one. This one, unlike the previous one, this is GHDash. You want to pay attention to this one? I had no idea that you could create extensions for the GitHub CLI. I had no idea until I saw this. Did you know that? Just like you can do plugins for kubectl, you can do plugins for the GitHub client. And that's what this is.
I had no idea.
So this, you were just talking about K9S being a good one. Here's one to where it displays a dashboard with pull requests and issues by filters you care about.
This is going back to the previous question. This looks like a good example of a terminal-based UI.
Yes. All in the terminal. Exactly. So then you can set up a config YAML, which lives at someplace. Set up your filters. and you say GHDash, and then you get your dashboard for the things you care about, all in terminal.
Nice.
Thought it was pretty cool.
Very
Again,
nice.
another grab. Okay, so question here. It's MIT as well. With this being a Go app, I'm curious. If you saw that,
Hey, look at the line. Yeah, exactly. There we go. This wasn't planned, I'm guessing.
no,
There
we're
you
not
go.
that. I'm not that smart. I mean, we didn't even talk about charm this week.
Yeah.
So for it to come out of the cold. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh wait, let's go see. And yep, sure enough.
Exactly. Charm.
So if you want to see how something works, this is one to look at. And it's a plugin. Did you know you could do a plugin for GitHub?
Yeah, I haven't tried. I'm guessing that it works similar. You know how kubectl plugins work? Basically,
Sort of,
anything
yeah.
executable that is kubectl dash is a plugin.
Right.
So you have a binary. It's in a path. The name starts with kubectl dash. It's a plugin.
Got it. Yeah, so you can just install it. You do have to get some fonts, though, which is sort of interesting. But then off you go. Yeah, and TUI, Terminal User Interface. This is what you'll see
Yeah.
a lot on the Charm site. So in case you see that's Terminal User Interface. I want to go back to this question, too. Any non-developer uses for terminal UIs?
Any non-developer uses, I'm not sure that I would.
I would probably stick with web on that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I have no intention to teach my girlfriend how to do whatever she's doing from a terminal. No.
But are you willing to teach her about working with Livecycle?
Yeah, Livecycle is cool. It's a tiny thing. It's very early stages. It's not really it's kind of, hey, everybody should use this. But I like the approach kind of, hey, I have a front end and then I can visually modify it. I can create screenshots. I can create some video recordings and connect all that with pull requests so that non-developers can collaborate, meaning designers, managers, and stuff like that. It's a good idea. Early stages, so not something that now I would urge everybody to go and adopt. But it's a cool idea to be able to collaborate differently on a pull request. I coined the term that I call it inclusive collaboration. Which
I was
don't think
questioning
they
that.
use, and
I couldn't really figure out what you meant by that. Just to be honest.
yeah, I meant kind of like, hey, how can we collaborate? And traditionally we collaborate on pull requests, and this is still pull request. But what am I going to do with the graphic designer?
Yeah.
That pull request, right? He's excluded in a way from that type of collaboration.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to talk about today? I'm trying to think. If you didn't watch the live stream yesterday with Nicole from K6 over on the DevOps Toolkit channel, you should do that. She's going to be coming back on the podcast in a few weeks. I don't remember the exact timing, but a few weeks. And is that it? Are you at a conference next week? I thought you were. No. Is that next week?
No. Oh, I mean,
Okay.
in person, not
person.
until May. In May, I have
okay.
2 in person, and then online, I don't know anymore.
Okay. What day of the week is it? Yes. Is that about what it is? Let me ask you a question. I did see that the Continuous Delivery Foundation announced their full thing today, and you were one of the what do you call it? Reviewers, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
Are you going to Austin?
I don't know yet whether my talk is accepted or no. Probably
okay.
not.
Well, you could look on the list because they published it all today, so then you would know.
Oh, really? Okay. I should take a look.
I won't be there, but a lot of people that we know will be there. So
I get invited to so many that kind of going to conferences where I'm not talking is a bit too much.
yes. What would be a conference you would go to where you were not talking?
KubeCon.
Not okay. Throw out the technical ones.
More.
What?
Craft. Craft would be second on my list.
What is craft?
You have no idea because it's in Europe. It's in Budapest. It's the best conference ever.
Tech conference?
It's tech conference, everything completely not influenced by marketing vendors. With everybody who is somebody is speaking over there. And if you go to Craft, if you Google Craft Budapest, kind of, if you just look at the lineup of speakers in the past years, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Budapest. I'll pull it up in a second. Well, software craftsmanship. Okay. This looks pretty interesting, I will have to admit. Oh, I'm in too many different screens. Hang on. Come on. Oh, now my mouse quit working.
What can you do?
I just heard something.
That one. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Keynote. So this week, or this year is Emily, Kelsey, and Kevlin.
Yeah.
A couple of virtual speakers. I like that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So this would be one you would just go to. Like, would it be to the point to where you would pay for it out of your pocket to go?
Yeah.
It's that good.
The prices are good to get tickets. I don't know. I haven't been paying for it myself, but I think that prices are very, very reasonable. Yeah, like
regular is online. So regular in person is 500 euros.
Yeah, I mean, I think that KubeCon is now on 1,500.
Yeah. Late bird ticket prices end. That's pretty funny. You always hear early bird, but not late bird. Okay. All right. Well, since you have another meeting to go to in 10 minutes, and I've got another meeting I've got to go to in 10 minutes, we probably should call it a day. It gives us time to go and eat a snack and try to power through the rest of the day. How many more meetings do you have today? Do you even know?
Only one.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I start working for real. Then the work starts.
I don't know. Oh, Janos, hello from Budapest.
Hey, Janos. I mean, Janos, if you're from Budapest, you almost certainly know about Craft.
That is cool. Oh, this is funny. Talking about terminal UIs, I think they may still be used by bank operators. Up until the recent years, all of the airlines were still using terminals. I used to know all the commands to move
Amadeus
through.
thingy, right?
Yeah, well, I was using Sabre, not Amadeus, but yes. Yeah, I knew all the commands. I could type the whole thing up. I could book a ticket in weird characters.
I mean, I'm a terminal freak. I think that we should be using terminals all the time, but I don't think that we should even suggest terminals to non-software engineers. No.
Yeah, I agree. That's not now, not anymore. I don't think. Maybe that'll change. Maybe Warp will change all that. We'll see.
Maybe people doing ticketing will become programmers. Who knows?
They were basically a programmer when it all began. So, okay. Thanks everybody for. Before we leave, if you haven't, give us a thumbs up before you leave. Do that. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And we'll be back again next Friday, same time, assuming nothing changes. Just follow us on Twitter, DevOps Paradox. We post usually on Thursdays when we're going live with the show on Friday. So, thanks. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to everybody again next week.